Good morning. Have you ever visited a museum and been tempted to touch a piece of art but then thought better of it?
Well, just have a look at this. So a couple have been filmed breaking a so-called Van Gogh chair covered in hundreds of crystals. This is inside a museum in Verona. You can see from the CCTV footage the man and woman pretending to sit on the artwork when the man slips and falls, breaking the chair's legs. There we go. There it is. Yep. They had a quick look. That's the other view. They were going to take a nice picture and then quickly made a swift exit. Get out of here. The thing is, because Van Gogh's work is often sort of slightly distorted, you might then be the next visitor to that museum and think, yeah, that's how it should look.
I mean, art evolves.
Necessarily no.
Art evolves, doesn't it? That now tells the story of that piece of art. In a way, it shouldn't be repaired, should it? Do you know, it reminds me, was it the Mr. Bean movie, when he tries to touch up something on a piece of art in a museum and then tries to fix it, and it gets worse and worse and worse. Yeah. It just reminds me of that.
It'd be interesting to know how the artist responds to this, because, as you say, quite often, you know, they will be accepting of the fact that human interactions are what gives art life, right? So maybe they won't be quite so disappointed. I don't know.
If they're looking for someone to plead for the defence for the two of them, I think they have found that person, Rach. Now, have you ever visited a museum and been tempted, even though you're not meant to touch a piece of art and thought better of it?
Well, just watch this, because this is footage, CCTV footage of a couple who decided to try out a chair. Now, this was a sort of Van Gogh-style chair covered in hundreds of crystals inside a museum in Verona. Now, it wasn't supposed to look like that. It wasn't supposed to be wonky. But as you can see, the man decides he'll try it out and it immediately collapses, at which point he and his wife say, "Quick, get out of here!" And it's left there, looking, I think, not necessarily the worse for that interaction with the tourists.
It now tells a story. It tells a new story. Art evolves, doesn't it? They've added, you could say, to the artwork.
You can see where the legs have literally just collapsed in front. The couple apparently fled the museum before staff had noticed what had happened. I mean, quite how sort of vigorously this couple is now being pursued by the authorities, I do not know. But they certainly left their mark.
They did, indeed. I mean, imagine that moment of horror when it happened and you thought, oh dear, we're in trouble.
And then realised that it was being beamed around the world on news programmes.
Exactly, like this.